go. We got the dub. We're taking the lead with 3-2 on this you-know-what family show. Let's go, baby. You already know what it is. Let's get into this. The New York Knicks came into Game 5 being tied 2-2 with the Indiana Pacers, and everything was looking bleak after that Game 4 loss to the Pacers. Look, the Knicks lost that one. They got blown out. It was just terrible, right? But they had a players-only meeting. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Donte DiVincenzo, and the rest of the crew, they decided to get back to their original roots and say, you know what, we got to go back out there and do what we do best. And what's that? Hustle like there is no tomorrow. The New York Knicks came into this matchup tonight, and you thought it was going to be a close one. You thought it was going to be a close one with the Indiana Pacers taking an early lead. But at the end of the first quarter, the New York Knicks would say, you know what, you ain't getting the lead back, and we're running away with this thing. You had Jalen Brunson doing Jalen Brunson things. The foot doesn't look like he's bothering him anymore. You had Donte DiVincenzo with a solid floor game. You had Josh Hart doing Josh Hart things, tacking out in transition and grabbing boards. And how about Isaiah Hartenstein being a rebounding machine? This dude would just go off for offensive rebound after offensive rebound. This guy ended the game with 12 offensive boards. And like I've been telling you throughout all my game of the weeks, if the New York Knicks win the rebounding battle, we are going to win the game. Point blank, period. 53 boards to 29. The New York Knicks demolished the Indiana Pacers 121-91. Send these guys back home and let's close it out. These cats haven't lost in Indiana since January. Let's make it happen tomorrow. Welcome to KFTV Postgame Live. I'm your host tonight, Alex Trataros, a.k.a. the Tratacaster. With me on the other side is my guy, JD Sports Talk, a.k.a. JD Breen. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Make sure to support our sponsors, Manscaped, Underdog Fantasy, Cuts. You already know the drill. We're going to take calls by the Discord tonight, so make sure to tap in. We need to hear your takes. CP's on the way, and there's a special guest on the way too. So make sure to stay locked in and tapped in for tonight's episode. Holy cow, JD, talk about giving payback, man. They ran us out of their building, fine. But you know what? We did the same thing right back to them. Feels good to take a lead in this series. 3-2, baby. 3-2. How are you feeling after tonight's game?
Oh, baby. Woo! How am I feeling? Man, you talk about, wow. I don't remember the last time the Knicks, they haven't had this type of win in the playoffs where it was just, woosah. It was like comfortable. It was a good game. You felt throughout the whole game as if it was a close game. You felt, and I think that was because of the energy of the fans, the energy of the crowd at Madison Square Garden, the energy of the fans that were at Slate tonight with CP, the energy of, all of us that were watching on TV. There was just an energy all around in anticipation for tonight's game, nervousness for tonight's game. People were scared for tonight's game. People were anxious. And many people also were confident and okay. So you had a mixture of all that energy building up to tonight's game because you just didn't know what was going to happen. 2-2. You have all these series around the NBA except the Celtics also at 2-2 going into tonight. So there's just a lot of, anticipation and, based on the effort they had last game, you just didn't know what was going to happen. Everybody was anxious. And look at the result that we got tonight. This team came out ready to play. They performed. They were fast. They were aggressive. They were poised. They were tough, right? And you saw a little bit of everything, and it all resulted in a clutch swing game victory going into Game 6. The New York Knicks take a 3-2 lead. And if you're a Knicks fan, how can you not believe in this team at this point? If you're a Knicks fan, how can you doubt this team anymore? If you're a Knicks fan, how can you not feel confident that this team does not have, because they do have the ability to bounce back after any tough game, after any amount of adversity. They continue to add to the legacy of the 24 season. And tonight was just another chapter in that legacy of a team that has an identity. And therefore, because they do have the identity, because they do have that culture, they're able to face adversity. And as a team, in the midst of injuries, in the midst of players not being available, is still this team responds. And man, what a great victory. And the craziest thing is the biggest game so far in the series, game 5, and this is the performance we get, where it's not a heart attack, last minute, fourth quarter. Like, you couldn't ask for a better night as a Knicks fan.
For
Where you
sure.
can sleep well tonight, you can enjoy the night, we can talk about it tonight, break this down, and definitely have some fun and get ready for game 6.
Absolutely. Very well said, JD. And I just want to correct something. The Pacers haven't lost since March, not January. March 18th, they are on a 10-game win streak, including 5-0 on their home turf in the playoffs. So we got to end that this Friday, man, when we go back to Indiana. Let's make sure to do that. But to your point, JD, yeah, man, this was like, it was weird for the first time throughout the playoffs where every single game it has been, the Knicks fighting for positioning throughout every single quarter, every single minute, every single second in every game. And tonight, to see them that they could just get the lead towards the end of the first quarter and cruise all the way to the end of the game, that's a nice change of pace, especially when you consider Jalen Brunson dealing with the foot injury, right? You had all these guys looking exhausted after game 5. You wonder if they were going to have enough energy. No OG Anunoby, as we already know. We already know about all the injuries for this team. The fact that they're able to do this tonight and put themselves in position to do so and just close out potentially a game 6, which I hopefully they can do, just a phenomenal thing, man. But we got to talk about some of these guys in their performances tonight. And I think the first one, we can go in so many different directions, man. We could talk about Brunson, we could talk about Donte, we could talk about Josh Hart. But yo, man, we got to start off with Isaiah Hartenstein, because this dude has just turned it up another notch again. I mean, look, we know what he had to do once Mitchell Robinson went down after December 8th, right? Playing against the Celtics. He had to step in and then become the starting center. And we know how good it looked once we got OG Anunoby to start off the new year. But we knew that he could offer some playmaking. We know about his float game. But tonight, man, you talk about having to go and protect the paint, as well as making sure that your team gets second chance opportunities. And look, he out-rebounded the Pacers on the offensive glass alone. The Pacers had 5 offensive boards. You have Isaiah Hartenstein with 12 tonight. 12 plus the 7 points that he got too, right? He went 2 or 3 from the field, 3 or 4 from the free throw line. Solid night from him. Gets 1 block, 5 assists as well. So he was in his playmaking bag too. Isaiah Hartenstein, man, just being the glue for this team, working the high post, and just knowing when to make the impacts that's needed for tonight, man. I mean, you got to tip your cap to Isaiah Hartenstein. And the one thing I could say, and obviously that's streaming through Knicks Twitter right now, I'm sure through every social media, is that you got to keep this guy moving forward, because look, love Mitch, everything about it. I hope Mitch stays as a Knick as well. But Isaiah Hartenstein is just so dynamic, man. He's just so dynamic and gives this Knicks starting unit a different dimension that we haven't really seen. And so with his performance, especially tonight, you can't let him go, man. You cannot let him go.
Absolutely. And definitely the Knicks, you saw a lot of his value tonight. And he hasn't, he's been struggling a little bit, been up and down throughout the playoffs, up and down this series, has had his struggles against Miles Turner. But again, what's most encouraging is in a swing game 5 where you're at home, best out of 3, you needed a player like Hartenstein to step up, especially because previously with pressure starting at the 4, the issue with that lineup was if Brunson is not on and he's not carrying that first unit, it's a little bit tough if Hartenstein is not, being a force in the paint, because now if DiVincenzo's inconsistent shooting and then you have Hart and Precious as the next 2 guys, you're making it a lot easier for Indiana to defend you. And we've seen, at least in Indiana, how Brunson struggled. So Hartenstein was that X factor. He's that X factor with the starting lineup as the way it is now up until tonight, where Thibs made the adjustment and started McBride to allow that spacing. Game 5, important game, and a guy that's been up and down has his best game in the playoffs, in my opinion, with the 12 offensive rebound. And, with that, he tied Charles Oakley for the most offensive rebounds in Knicks playoff history, with the 12 offensive rebounds tonight. And I mean, that was an X factor in the game. That demoralized the Pacers, and that demoralizes a defense, especially when you play defense for 20 of the 24 seconds, 22 of the 24 seconds. And then, you let the team get a second chance opportunity. The other thing that does, and that did for a guy like Josh Hart, is contagious. People talk about 3-point shooting being contagious. For this specific Knicks team, this roster, offensive rebounds is contagious. Once you have a Josh Hart one night dominating, you'll see the other teammates follow. So him being able to do that was actually contagious as well. So not only did he help himself with this performance, he helped his teammates and he impacted the game, and that led to the victory tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, Hartenstein's so critical. You talk about it being contagious. I mean, everything was just contagious for this team through and through. The hustle, the effort. It just seemed like, you talk about Josh Hart impacting the rebounding side and being contagious to Isaiah Hartenstein, but I felt like just the energy that Josh Hart even gives, right? It just felt like it was just contagious throughout the night. I mean, look, Donte DiVincenzo himself didn't have a good shooting night, went 0-6 from downtown, 4-14 from the field, but got you 7 boards tonight, 4 assists as well, 3 steals. And talk about having a solid floor game. Look, I go back to saying that after that players only meeting, these guys had to get back to their roots. And the thing that has been carrying this Knicks team since all the injuries have occurred is just this is a team that has out hustled everybody and will get gritty, will get physical and fight. And look, I know Donte didn't necessarily have the cleanest game tonight, but I love his energy, man. I love the chippiness, getting into it with Miles Turner, into it with TJ McConnell, getting boards, getting blocks. I mean, he had a good stuff on Pascal Siakam. It's like, and that's fun to see, just because you think about, all right, the height difference, especially between him and Josh Hart, who's guarding him most of the night. But then you see Donte just saying, no, not today, when Pascal thinks he has an easy layup. So Donte, I'm just saying, you talk about Josh Hart being infectious with his hustle and the rebounding. It just seems like it was just in everyone's veins tonight when it comes to, the hustle and the effort.
Yeah, and listen, it's not cliche. This is why I always say numbers sometimes can be deceiving if you also don't combine it with the eye test. If you don't combine it with possession to possession observations, breakdown, strategy. This might have been the best 4 for 14 over 6 from 3 game that Donte has ever had, and that I might have seen from a player shooting that bad from the perimeter. And you talk about why is the passion that he displayed tonight, right? Things that don't go on the box score: passion, grit, hustle. I mean, he played very hard tonight. Although he struggled from the perimeter, he got a few it says he has 1 block. It felt like he had more than one. Felt like he had a couple more. He had 3 steals and 4 assists. So he contributed in other areas, as you mentioned, the 7 the 7 total rebounds, 3 of them offensive rebound. We talk about Hartenstein being contagious. Look at that with Donte DiVincenzo. But also he played hard on defense. And you know what? Sometimes those little skirmishes that he got on the court. You talk about Patrick Beverley being known for that. You talk about some of these players, PJ Tucker, where you look at the box score and they didn't do anything on the box score, but it's just about those little skirmishes that they get on the court just galvanizes the team. It's just something about the synergy that creates. It's something about just your teammates saying, all right, I got your back. It's something about a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", and is looking up at a 7-foot Miles Turner in his face, and he's telling him, what you want to do? What's up? Like, we're here. Nobody's scared of you. I don't care that you're 7 feet. I don't care that you're a shot blocker. I don't care that you can shoot the 3. You at the Garden, and we're here, and we're coming back to play hard and win this ball game. And it's something about just that attitude that was contagious to the team. And you saw how his teammates had his back. You saw how his teammates produced on the court. And you saw how, when you get to this late in a series, Alex, these are the things you need. You need an episode like this on the court because as a player, you're running on adrenaline at this point. Now we're going into game 6. There's only 2 possible games left in this series. And these guys know each other. They know the playbook already. They know what they're going to do. It's now about doing the extra things that the next guy doesn't want to do to close this thing out. And Donte DiVincenzo provided that for the Knicks. And therefore, it's one of those games where, yes, you want him to shoot better. And it doesn't mean that this is going to be every game. But for tonight, everything else he did had an impact on the game.
Absolutely. And so was the other Villanova Nick on this team, Josh Hart. You want to talk about impact, my man. Talk about attacking out transition, being efficient from the field. 7 of 16 gets you 18 points, 11 boards, double machine from Josh Hart, the 6'4" shooting guard who's playing like a power forward out there. You know what I mean? But 3 assists as well, 1 steal, 1 block. He too had a block on Pascal Siakam, said not today. Josh Hart, man, being the gritty player that we're talking about. I mean, there's not enough to say about Josh Hart, man. I mean, the play that encompasses everything that Josh Hart is about today. Shoots a 3, misses it, gets his own rebound, finishes through contact, and gets the layup. I mean, that is Josh Hart in a nutshell, man. Always flying in like Sonic the Hedgehog collecting rings. This guy is just constantly in the mix. Josh Hart truly providing that emphasis when it comes to grit, hustle, and everything that you need for this Knicks team to stay in it tonight.
Yeah, and one of the biggest, I think there were 2 differences in tonight's game that allowed them to play this way. Number 1 was the adjustment that Tom Thibodeau made with not only starting McBride, because I was a little concerned if he would have went with McBride over Precious, because then I wanted to know who is McBride going to defend, because it might have put a lot of pressure on Josh Hart taking the one-on-one assignment all night against Pascal Siakam and then him having to attack the rim for offensive rebounds. However, McBride started. Thibodeau made that adjustment. And then he put McBride on Halliburton, and that slowed down a lot of Halliburton's drives. By McBride doing that, it put less pressure on Hart as the 4-man to cover up for some drives, cover up for his teammates in terms of additional rotations that maybe you don't need to do if you're playing stout defense at the point of attack. And so that allowed him to be more aggressive around the rim. And then the second thing that he did tonight that helped him is he shot the ball more. He had 16 attempts tonight. And even some of those that he missed, just being aggressive and taking those shots, I think allowed him to loosen up a little bit. Obviously he's always going to, like, Josh Hart's always going to have these possessions where he hesitates a little bit because he's just still not a natural at it. And maybe he'll take this offseason and he'll continue to gain that confidence. But his game is his game, and he knows that's his game, is to rebound, play defense, do all the dirty work. And then occasionally he'll shoot the perimeter shots. But tonight he let it go. And I think that gave him confidence. 7 of 16. He made 2 threes, was 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and had 18 points. So I think him being involved in the offense as well gave him a ton of confidence. And you got a good performance out of him tonight.
Absolutely. And look, I know everyone's wondering about McBride. We could go down the entire list of all the players that played well tonight, man, because it just seems like, we could go through everybody. Look, Burks, Precious, McBride, Brunson. I feel like Brunson deserves his own segment because he really had to bounce back after the foot injury. So before we start getting into everything, let's talk about McBride, because you mentioned it, JD. You talked about Tom Thibodeau switching it up. This is something that I thought he was going to do from the get-go after OG went down. We talked about it, all 4 of us, you, CP, Steph, and myself. And I thought Tiz would go with McBride because we saw the success that they had against the Warriors during the regular season. I thought that you would want to keep up with the pace and the spacing of the Indiana Pacers, and it made sense to me to go with McBride just because, look, I understand Jericho Sims. I understand where he is on this roster. I understand that he has been up and down this season, and he kind of looks lost at times when he's out there. I didn't think that Tiz would actually go to him. Very impressed that he did. But as you saw, Sims struggled during those last 2 games, game 3 and game 4 against Indy. So it only made sense to go Deuce in the starting rotation, allow Precious to stagger minutes with Isaiah Hartenstein, even share the floor at sometimes, especially when you needed to shore up the defense and get boards. But I thought that you needed to make sure that you could keep up with the space and pace of this Pacers unit. And the good thing that I liked about having McBride out there is that he was able to guard Tyrese Halliburton, right? I mean, let's look at Halliburton's stats tonight. 13 points, 5 and 9 from the field. A guy who's doing a lot of talking at home, did not show up, and he's a minus 22. I don't really like plus minus, but I just want to tell you how much of a non-factor he is. And I feel like that's very good for tonight. A minus 22 in this game for a guy that was yapping a lot, talking about no one could guard him, no one could do this, that, and the third. But he got guarded tonight, and it was a 0 in tonight's game for the Indiana Pacers. They needed him to be that guy. He wasn't, and part of that solution was, one, you get Miles McBride guarding Tyrese Halliburton out there, because even though you have Naismith out there as well playing the wing, you really have 3 guards out there, all right? And I feel like Josh Hart, he can still play a physical defense against Pascal Siakam, but having McBride out there defensively was a good change of pace and saving pressure for that second unit. On top of that, give the confidence to McBride to be that off-ball guard that we heard Steph talk about after game 2. So I felt like everything worked out. So McBride having a solid game, 7 of 15 from the field, 17 points, 3 of 7 from downtown, gets you 4 assists as well. McBride having one hell of a night.
Amazing. I mean, I thought him and Precious specifically changed the game for this team in the first half defensively. I mean, I thought that tandem completely changed the game. And, starting with McBride, again, it was the adjustment that Thibodeau made and started him, because he did go to him in the second half of the last game, but that game was already out of contention, and that didn't play as well to start the third in the last game in Indiana, but he went right back to it to start the game from the beginning today. But I thought, again, it was not only starting him, it was starting him and putting him on Halliburton and telling, like, literally they played Halliburton kind of like how Naismith has tried to defend, and McConnell, when McConnell comes in, like 94 feet, like how they've tried to defend Brunson, being physical, trying to cut his lanes, try to beat him to the spot, picking him up from the moment that you inbound the basketball. That role is what McBride played, and McBride a lot this series has been playing shaky defense for a guy that's a good defender. But I think a lot of it, when I watch the film, is he hasn't been aggressive as a defender. He hasn't been who he is, which is a pest, which is putting a lot of ball pressure. He's been more kind of sitting back, maybe respecting the Indiana shooters too much. Maybe, the scheme of it where, you want to collapse on the paint, come out on the shooters. But tonight, they let him go, and they put him on Halliburton like a cornerback on a wide receiver in the NFL, like press coverage, man coverage from the line of scrimmage. Like McBride was aggressive, and not only for today, Alex, but for the closeout game. That adjustment right there is going to be crucial, especially in Indiana, where Halliburton's probably going to try to be aggressive, where Halliburton's probably going to try to feed off the Indiana crowd. It is going to be crucial that McBride brings that same mentality, that same drive and hustle and determination on defense the next game, because you saw the impact he had on defense, where he was cutting off all the lanes for Halliburton to drive to the basket. And then when you do that to Halliburton, there's something going on with Halliburton, I think, from an identity standpoint, where he doesn't know from game to game exactly what he wants to be, what he wants to do. Am I an aggressive guard tonight, or am I a distributing guard tonight? And I think that's something that he still has to figure out. But the Knicks definitely altered his mentality tonight, and they're going to need to do that again for Game 6.
Salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tuning in for another KFTV post-game live. I'm your host, Alex Trataros, a.k.a. the Tratacaster. With me on this side is my guy, JD Sports Talk, a.k.a. JD Breen. We're taking calls tonight by the Discord, so make sure to tap in. CP is on the way, and so is Stephon Marbury. He is also on the way as well for this KFTV post-game too, so make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Make sure to support our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. All right, use that promo code KFTV to get up to $250 on your first deposit. All right, we're going to take calls by by the Discord, like I said. So make sure to tap in and lock in. And first and foremost, we're going to go to Hoodie Melo. Hoodie Melo, if you're there, unmute your mic. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Yo, I'm feeling great, man. We're up 3-2 in the series. How do you mean, how am I feeling? How are you feeling?
I feel great. I had work today, and I told my boss, I got to leave at 8 o'clock. And he understood. I left, and I'm so glad I did. It was a great team effort. I think that Burks has really stepped up, and I think this was a great game. We see a lot of people, talking about, oh, the Knicks can't do it. They can't do it. And Jalen Brunson's coming out here scoring 42, 44, like it's nothing. And, a great team effort. Deuce McBride, Burks, they all stepped up. And I think this was Isaiah Hartenstein's game of telling Leon Rose, I want my money. I want to be here in New York, and this is where I want to stay. And I think that this offseason is very big, and I think that he's one of the guys that we need to sign. And they just played amazing, man. And we have one more in Indy, and you could tell that the Knicks have the Pacers right where they want them, and we can end it on Friday, and we can do it, and we can, play Boston, and we could beat Boston with a healthy OG, and just imagine how we're gonna be next season, man.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to you, Hoodie Mel, for calling, and appreciate the call as always. Hey, he's thinking next round series. We got to finish this series out. Let's focus on the series first.
Haven't y'all learned, man? Haven't y'all learned?
Let's focus on the series at hand first, okay? Let's focus on this game. Let's focus on the Indiana Pacers. We can't overlook them. They got 2 games on us, all right? They're not walking out here like some scrubs, all right? They're keeping up. They're doing what they got to do. Let's close this thing out first. Let's try to close this thing out on Friday, all right? Let's stay focused on the task at hand. But you know who he talked about? He did talk about Jalen Brunson, though, JD. And Jalen Brunson, who looked like he was laboring in the last 2 games, Game 3 and Game 4, didn't have enough lift. We have the article by Stefan Bondi of the New York Post saying that he's not getting, he's losing 2 inches on his jump shot. Everything's falling short. I mean, we saw this man had a 1-on-1 in Game 4, and it just hits the rim, the front of the rim, and misses the layup, just clean miss. And you're like, good God, how bad is this injury? How bad is it for Jalen Brunson? Because he is the engine that makes this team go. But then tonight he says, look, guys, I'm the foot's not bothering me. And even in all these post games, they're like, all right, man, you're just saying it just so that we don't worry. You're not going to tell someone that you're hurt. We get that. But this guy decided to go out here, shoot over 50%, 18 of 35 from the field, drop 44 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. This dude was just tearing up the Indiana Pacers. Aaron Nesmith, look, Indy out in home court, they're allowing Nesmith to play a little bit more physical and do all that stuff. Come back home, Brunson starts to get back into a groove, and he says, this guy, what are you all talking about? Jay, what are you talking about? I'm going to have to go from Kelly Oubre to Nicholas Batum and now to this guy. Get out of here with this nonsense, man. No one can stop me. And this is what great players do, JD. They figure it out. They adjust. Even when they're injured, they say, I'm still going to hold my team down, and I'm going to do what it takes so that way we come out here on top. 44 points tonight for Jalen Brunson. He did the damn thing. Brunson, superstar. The Brunson burner is back in full effect.
That might have been the most encouraging thing that happened tonight. Like, I get the supporting cast, and we've talked about some of the players on the supporting cast that have contributed tonight, right? I get that, and that's very important. But if you looked at the way things transpired in Indiana, if you look at the way that he's looked on a couple of drives where he's landed on his foot, where he's limped a little bit, you looked at how many jump shots. Just look at the film. How many shots? I counted about 8 that were short of the rim in the last game where you were thinking, okay, like, is this now a lingering thing that's gonna, the Knicks are gonna have to deal with? I mean, let's be honest, today, the fan base was kind of half and half in terms of people being very, very nervous and not knowing what to expect. And, the other half of the fan base that was like, okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm confident. I think I'm okay. But let's get this game going. And this guy, Jalen Brunson, without him, you're not going to go anywhere. And we all know that. If in terms of the dream of getting to the ECF, and then once you're there, it's the first to four. So who cares if it's the Celtics, right? But the belief for a fan to have that these Knicks can do the unthinkable, it's going to come down to Jalen Brunson, because you see like games like tonight with the injuries, the magnitude. I mean, you got a series in Dallas and OKC where it's a 2-2 series, and Kyrie Irving has had 2 9-point games in the series. Do you think Jalen Brunson can afford to have that type of game in any series with this current Knicks team? No. So when you look at even some of these other stars around the NBA in these playoffs, like they've had multiple off games in a series, and they've been bad multiple off games. And look at Jalen Brunson. The margin of error for this guy is so small that he needs to be literally superstar level every night. And for him to have the performance that he had tonight gives you that confidence in a game 5. Again, these are, people say that these are the legacy games, right? Game 5, game 7, the closeout games. When you're down 2-1, like those are legacy games. And tonight, Jalen Brunson added a legacy moment in Madison Square Garden to his early resume as a New York Knicks. So if you're a Knicks fan, man, you have to feel amazing about, the opportunity to close this out. And you have to be encouraged that Jalen Brunson, although he's dealing with this sore foot that likely just needs rest, he doesn't have any rest now. He's going to get back on track. And it looks like he has another one in him in game 6.
For sure. And you know who else gets to input on his thoughts on the Brunson burner, or as he calls him, Captain Clutch?
And I know there's a player that, we've been on for like 30 minutes, and great timing, because there's going to be a player that we're going to leave for a certain person to come on the show and him introduce, because I know he's going to.
Interesting.
Player
Very
to be
interesting.
a player to be named later.
Dreads too. Look at this. We got dreads. We got dreads for CP to Fanchise. Oh, I don't think y'all can see. He's checking the watch. He's doing all this. Oh, there he is. He's now finally on screen. Thank you for finally joining us, Captain. How are you doing? What are you tapping that watch for? What are you tapping the watch for?
I'm just checking the time. I'm just checking the time. I'm just checking the time. There's a thing we used to say on this show for quite some time, for a couple of years now. Money time.
But so anyway, wait, you didn't abandon the Burks Hive? I thought you abandoned this Hive.
We'll get to that. I don't want to bury the lead. All right. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to JD and Alex. Number one show for the fans, by the fans, is on and popping. We got 3,800 people on the check-in. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. We are in the mix. Let's go. Order restored, 121 to 91. Let's go, man. I'm hyped right now. I am hyped. All the talk. We got Mother's Day out of the way, and Daniel says my audio levels is low. Hang on. Let me make sure I'm good here. Check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2. Am I good?
You guys getting up there? You're getting up there. You're finally starting to sound loud.
Okay. All right. Let me just take it from the top.
Here we go.
Okay. Let me make sure my audio's good. They say I'm good now. They're saying I'm good. Is my audio good?
Yes, sir.
Daniel, they're still saying my mic level is low. Check 1. Okay. TM says we're back in full force. Okay. All right. So
like Alex Burks, it took him some time to get back into rhythm.
Yes. We'll get to 18 later, man. That's not important right now. What's important is we restored order after the Mother's Day massacre. And look, it happens. You have clunkers in the playoffs. The Knicks team, they got knocked out early. And one of the Knicks said it, I think it was Ragu or Hart, whether you lose by 1 or you lose by 31, a loss is a loss. It didn't mean that, that team was just superior to the Knicks. It just meant that, hey, look, Knicks got their teeth knocked in, got to get some soul searching. They had the team meeting, and they had to regroup at the Garden. My 2 keys, I went on Fox 5 today, the 5 o'clock news. The reporter asked me, what are the 2 keys I'm bouncing back tonight? I said this, boards and Brunson. Simple and plain. Get back to our A game. It starts with number 11. He delivered tonight. He looked great. He moved great. He dropped like 4 paces in their wake. They're still outlining them in chalk in Madison Square Garden right now, where there's Nembhard, Neesmith, Siak. It didn't even matter. He got into his bag and he killed them tonight. It didn't matter who they put on him. They showed the graphic that he had his most success against Nembhard, Neesmith, McConnell last. It didn't matter because on a night like this, superstars know that when their team needs them, they do not let them down. And that's Jalen Brunson. He showed us this time and time again. That's why I wasn't worried about tonight. Even the next chick was worried about tonight. I had to talk wifey off the ledge a little bit. She's always
you were optimistic.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I was not worried one bit tonight. I was just ready for the game to go because that's number 11, man. He does not let us down. He never does, and so he looked great tonight. But the supporting cast, I heart. I mean, the offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Knicks winning the second chance points battle 27-9 tonight. 27-9. And the reason I said boards was because from the boards, everything else flows. And even though iHeart was, the star there from the offensive rebound standpoint, take a look at Josh Hart's rebound numbers tonight. What was Josh Hart's rebound numbers in game 4? X factor was an X factor in game 4. Tonight, he was back. And despite the fact that he started the game off with, we don't need that times 100 with the turnovers, he came back strong. He came back strong. Look, shorthanded and all, this team is going to go as far as the Nova Trio gets them, as the Nova Trio takes them. Brunson did his part. Hart did his part. DiVincenzo thing was so interesting because JD and you and Al hit it on the head on this one. You would have thought he had 30 points tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he goes 4-4. I didn't even look at the box score because I'm watching the game. I'm like, yo, DiVincenzo's killing right now.
Right.
But it's as Thibodeau has said over the years, how do you impact the game when your shots aren't falling? And with DiVincenzo, he was active in cutting. He was active in keeping the ball moving around, getting on the boards, the block on Siakam, right? Dinosaur arms and all. He's launching up. He's meeting guys at the rim. He's providing the New York grit. Hoodie get in the face with McConnell. He's shipping it up with McConnell.
And Turner. Don't forget Turner.
And Turner, right? The New York grit, the energy. We needed that tonight. All of that was needed. And so those 3 guys all chipped in their own way, and everybody else followed, man. Great win. And despite the fact that, Indiana had their moments where they would go on their runs, Knicks were counting with a bigger run. The Turner 9-0 personal run was counted with a 12-1 Knicks run. Like they just kept their foot on the gas all night. And here we are, man. 121-91. Great win. 3-2. Go back to Indy. And now you got 2 chances to wrap them up, man.
They got to close out in Indy. I want them to close out in Indy.
And I think they can.
They have Indy has not lost since March 10th, man. I need them to lose on their home court. I cannot take it anymore because they're gonna keep preaching that stat to Kingdom Come. We're gonna have to take them out on their home floor, man. That's what I need to see. But CP, to your point, the rebounding battle is just every time the Knicks win, even from against the 76ers, Knicks win the rebounding battle, they win the game by two boards or whatever. And 53-29 tonight, that was demolishing the Pacers on the board.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tony East, who I had on to preview game 3. Said that the Knicks have the Pacers were out Knicksing the Knicks, which is just hustling.
Right.
And the Knicks just got back to the roots and had to do that. That's all they had to do, man. All they had to do. But what about Brunson, man? JD and I just broke down Brunson's game. We want to hear more about what you got to think about Brunson's game tonight, man.
He never lets us down, man. He never lets us down. Like everything that he goes through, injury after injury, hand, foot, this, that, the third. He always, what did he say to Siakam at the end of the game? It's going to be a long series. They poked the bear. They poked the bear. That was a big mistake. And from the time I saw that, I said, okay, we'll see you at the Garden. We will see you at the Garden. And he looked great. And that was a great sign just to see how he was moving out there. It was a great sign, man. Got into his bag. You know, earlier in the game, they got him on the offensive foul on Neesmith. Couple of chippy things. That second quarter was very weird. No flow to it, especially early. You had about 5 different reviews going on. Scott Foster was busy in that second quarter, but you know, second half he just got back into it. Then they put 2 on the ball. They take the ball out of his hands. They were ready. They get it to Hart. Hart makes plays. They're executing. You know, they're ready for the adjustments that Indiana has for them. And Indiana is not a good defensive team. They're not a good defensive team. So that's why I'm like, man, for the Knicks, you just let Brunson, if you get Brunson to be Brunson, and should he miss or should other Knicks miss, you get after it on the boards. I like our chances 9 times out of 10 against this Indiana team, despite them being, you know, this offensive juggernaut. But here is what I liked, the McBride factor. I thought the McBride factor was important tonight. I thought it was very important tonight on 2 ways. Because you could have easily said, maybe we go to Precious and start him on Siakam. Siakam having the ability to shoot over Hart, get buckets over Hart. Maybe you go with Siakam, you go a little bit bigger, ensure that you get your boards and a little bit more rim protection, play more physical. Thibs goes with McBride. And I like that so that you can stop Halliburton from getting off to that hot start. Game 3 and 4, he got into a groove. And so to have McBride out there, and yes, he's had his trouble with McConnell. He's had his trouble with faster guards, but to just play physical out there, Deuce is back in football mode tonight. So to play physical out there and not allow Halliburton to get comfortable, pick him up from 94 feet, give him a different look. I thought that was a big adjustment there by Thibs. Yes, we're shorthanded, but still a good adjustment. And I thought that helped, especially the way that this game went tonight.
He played 40 minutes. And you mentioned that was a great adjustment because, you know, it comes down to picking your poison, right? Like, as you mentioned, the decision was, what is more important for us? Starting Precious on Siakam or going McBride on Halliburton? And I'm pretty sure Thibs, because, you know, last game he went the first half with Precious, second half with McBride. And if you looked at both halves, nothing worked in that game. So it wasn't an easy decision, I'm sure,
right,
with the starting lineup going into tonight, because you were sacrificing something. Because you saw even tonight, like, both adjustments work, CP. Like Precious and McBride, because they both played well. You saw the value that they both, like, I thought Precious had one of his best defensive performances of the season with his ability. You know, when he was rotating, he had a play where he had a strong hedge, he recovered, he blocked Nembhard's shot at the same time of his perimeter coverage on Miles Turner in his minutes. Like, he was outstanding. But McBride, you know, Thibodeau basically said, listen, Halliburton is starting to get his confidence up a little bit. I have no idea what his mentality is going to be on the road, because he's got his confidence up in Indiana, but we can't play no games, because as a coach, you got to look at, okay, if who gets going on that team, if that player gets going, who is the player that can get going and affect his teammates the most? And as you saw to Indiana, it seems to be that you can survive a good game from Siakam. If Halliburton has an outstanding game, it seems like everybody else on the Pacers gets going. So he made the decision of, we're going to start McBride. We're going to sacrifice the height between Josh Hart being 6'4" and Siakam being 6'8", 6'9", and we're going to live with the results. And because McBride not only showed up defensively, but also showed up offensively, it worked on both sides of the court, because Brunson had more spacing to operate tonight. So shout out to Thibs on that for sure.
It worked well, man, because Al, like, you know, as well as Precious played on the defensive end, when you see him parked in the corner, you see that they're helping way off him. Siakam's helping way off him. They're waiting for Brunson to make his forays into the paint. And so, you know, it can get a little tricky there. But I'll give credit. Precious did hold it down, especially on the defensive end and getting timely boards. McBride doing his thing on both ends. That adjustment by Thibs worked very well for this team tonight.
Absolutely. And look, the thing I think the underlying factor with Hartenstein and Precious is that having Thibs also matched when Siakam was out there, right? And then had actually Hartenstein and Precious out there. I mean, if we go to the second quarter, and when we saw things started to get a little chippy, especially after Hartenstein and who was it? Who's the center? Jackson were getting into it for a little bit. Then you started to get an uneven flow, but I think Thibs did a good job staggering Hartenstein and Precious. So that way, if Halliburton was out there and not Siakam, you could go there with Precious and still make sure that you get Hartenstein some rest as well. And then when you had both Precious, or not Precious, but you had Halliburton and Siakam out there, there was like a brief moment where you saw Precious and Hartenstein both on the court at the same time. And you didn't have Josh Hart out there. You know, they made sure that there was still enough shooting and you still had a good height presence to deter the Pacers from attacking the rim. So I thought that was a good adjustment by Thibs. And since we're on the topic of Tom Thibodeau, okay, can we give this man some respect? Because all I've been seeing is that this guy's caused all the injuries. This guy's done this. This guy's done that. But, you know, shout out to Justin Termini, CP, who we spoke with on the NBA Report earlier this season when we were talking, especially discussing Becky Hammond's comments about 1A and stuff of that nonsense. And look how that's aged like milk. But anyway, you look at how he said that, you know, everyone criticizes Tom Thibodeau when it comes to injuries, but no one wants to give this man credit for when this team is overachieving and doing well. And look where the Knicks are right now. They're up 3-2. They're in the second round. They have a chance to close this thing out on Friday. Can we give some credit to Tom Thibodeau, man? Because talk about adjustments after adjustments, coaching one hell of a series, back-to-back series, okay? You have a tough matchup with the 76ers, physical, where you have to guard against Embiid, a force in the paint, Maxey, who is just a blur. So you have this thing between lightning and thunder that's going against the Knicks, which is very difficult to guard. And now you're trying to keep up with a Pacers team that could just explode on offense like they did in Game 4. And the fact that
Are we still up? Okay. All right, we are back up. Testing. Okay, are we back up?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Okay, we just don't have video, but we are back up. All right, so to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP, Alex, JD on the ones and twos. Call us up on the KFTV Discord. We are back up and running. No worries about it. But yeah, no, basically what I was saying was that, you know, on the Thibs criticism, look, these are the cards that he's dealt. These are the players that we have. In a normal circumstance, he had basically 11 capable players going into, you know, the final 2 months or so of the playoffs. And everybody went down one by one into the playoffs. So you can't expect like I had a caller on Mother's Day say, oh, well, you know, he should have went to Diakite and Daquan Jeffries because, you know, those guys are playing so well in garbage time on Mother's Day. Like, yeah, they were playing well. The Pacers stopped playing at that point. So it's easy to criticize the coach at that point, but I would think you would be hard pressed to find a fan out there or a detractor that's going to blame Thibs on a night like tonight.
And Daniel, I just sent you a small clip from Stan Van Gundy on this topic. If you want to play it when you have a chance, that'll be good to show it. You know, Stan Van Gundy talking about basically this controversial topic over the last 24, 48 hours. And you talk about Monica gave her thoughts. Yeah. Stan Van Gundy tonight, I thought, said some interesting things about this topic. And you know, you got a coach that's in a tough spot, man. He's in a tough spot. You're talking about a roster that's missing, you know, 4 rotation players.
Right.
I mean, what more would you want him to do? And you know, it goes into actually the funny thing about this is, which I'm sure you'll get into that player, and I won't name him because I'll let you do the honors later on tonight. But the interesting thing about this topic, if you really look at it, is he's played a very important role in actually the minutes being a little bit more balanced because of his contributions has given the coach confidence. If you look at tonight, you're talking about a couple of players were in the 20s in minutes. We haven't seen that these playoffs.
Yeah.
And because of that player, his contributions, even in the loss where he still had 20 points, like he has allowed, because of how important. Now, we talked about how we needed that position potentially at the trade deadline in terms of giving Brunson another guy at that position or near that position where it was the one or the two, but an additional ball handling scorer, not just a shooter, but more of a ball handling scorer. And he has given Tom Thibodeau that option. And in giving him that option, it's allowed even Josh Hart to come out for a few minutes. It's allowed for Brunson to steal a few. Like, it's just allowed for, if you look at tonight, like if you look at the box score tonight, you're not seeing everyone at 46 to 48 minutes like we've been seeing. And I think it's interesting. I think that player has played a big role in this.
You know,
Can't believe I said that.
Does anybody have the time? Anybody?
Surprised that they even allow you in the Burks Hive still.
I gave you out some time. How long post game been going on for? We've been going on for 52 minutes. I came in with the lead. I bigged them up. Big up Captain Clutch. Came through for us. But we are back. Okay. It is big money time, okay? You know, Stan Van Gundy on the telecast talking about, oh, my God, I couldn't believe Alec Burks. He hasn't played in this long. How is he doing it? Because we don't need trash time. We don't need bum nights in a regular season. They don't call him big money for nothing, okay? I told y'all, listen, it's not his time, but his time may come. His time may come. And all of a sudden, in 3 games in a row, look who's delivering for the orange and blue. It is number 18, Alec Burks. This is what we needed when we pulled the trigger at the trade deadline. This is what Leon West, this is what we were game planning for in the green room. This is what we were talking about. Now, he came in. See, I think he took all of that, you know, all that talk about how we need somebody to run the second unit. I think he took that a little bit too far. So he overextended himself a little bit. Okay, so Thibs said, we're going to sit you down for a little bit. The caller, the lady, God bless her, said, we're going to put him in the trunk. I said, okay, we're going to ride with it because everybody's right. My man, he's not doing it. He's not doing what we came here to do. So we got to sit him down. Deuce was doing his thing. Now, it's all hands on deck. We had to call his number. Thibs called his number. He said, AB, what do you got for me? What time is it? AB said, it's money time. He's getting into the offense. That elbow 3 is money right now. The corner 3 is money right now. We are back. We're back. 18 points tonight. And he gave Isaiah Jackson a little judo chop. Back up off my guy. You saw that? What DiVincenzo say about Big Money Burks? He says, even when he's not playing, he's got our back. This is a leader on the team. This is why we brought him back. Gave Isaiah Jackson a little judo chop. Back up off my guy, man. What are you doing? And then come get these buckets on the other end. Come play some defense. And his defense was on point tonight.
Put him in the front.
Help defense was on the money. He was guarding Nebhart. Sometimes he might have been guarding Halliburton. Help defense he was recovering off the wings. We're playing 2-man game here tonight. It's big money time. In the nick of time. Let's go.
Bro, this is unbelievable. Like
that was my real monologue. I saved it.
Are we done with the monologue? I can put the paper down. I can put the times down now.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to happen. I needed the paper for tonight.
Completely freestyle. Completely freestyle off the dome. Yeah.
I can't even fact check anything he just said because the way he's playing, CP can create any narrative he wants. I mean, you heard what he said. He said this was all part of the game plan. So
we don't need bum nights. Who needs the regular season when you're big money time?
Bro, and you talk about.
First of all, hold on one second. Hold on. Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. This guy, hold on, JD. We can't let this guy just get an easy pass on Alec Burks.
I don't know, man.
This guy was like,
I don't know.
We're like, we keep saying, hey, CP, where's Burks? Where's Burks during the regular season? He's like, it's over, guys. It's done. It's over. It's over. It's done. It's over. It's over. It's done. You know, man, it's just so interesting that when the guy starts doing well, you're back in the hive.
Bro, listen.
But here's the thing, Alex. Here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna be honest. This is what's so wonderful. This is why it's so tough to play in this market. But the other side to it is how many we have in the chat? We have almost 4,000 in the chat. Probably 3,800 of those were throwing tomatoes at CP. Nobody was a believer. And you know what? You know what's the funny thing about the New York market is when you do it in the playoffs, nobody remembers the regular season.
That's
Nobody
a fact.
cares.
That's a fact.
Nobody it's like, wait, did he struggle? I don't remember that.
I took all the bullets, just like the Obi Dud pick.
Unbelievable.
Comment. I stand on all 10 toes. I don't mind. It is what it is. This is still the number one show for the fans, my friend, whether you want to agree with me or not. But I told you, I will have my day. That's what I said way back when it was me versus the two of you. Remember that? I said, I will have my day. Big money time. Big money time. He's coming through in a big way. And just like JD said, he's allowing guys to get rest. He's your most healthy body right now.
Yes.
Coming off the bench, your freshest legs. And Tim says, oh, I got one more. I got one more. He's good for it. Let's go. But look, he's playing well, man. He's playing well. He's playing within in all seriousness. He's playing within the offense. It's night and day from what we saw in the regular season. It's not a 1-on-5 situation. It's, hey, y'all do y'all thing. If you need me, I'm here. Big money time.
Yo, first of all,
CP, send the link to.
Okay, we got our special guest coming through. Okay.
Yeah, he said he needs the link.
Okay.
But now all facts to Burks just stepping up, man. I mean, it's critical, absolutely critical at this point, especially when you lose Bogdanovich. Now you get another scorer off the bench. I mean, 6 for 11 for tonight, man. 18
Big
points,
time.
easy, 5 boards. Dude was playing well. I mean, thank God for Alec Burks. It's funny for me to say that, but thank God for Alec Burks, man. But to your point, like, he is playing well in the offense. Like, it seems like his time in the trunk, CP, his time in the trunk, he's learned a lot. Remembered how to play in a Tom Thibodeau system like he did 2 years ago, where he didn't have to be, or 3 years ago, where he didn't have to be the point guard. This is what you need from him. And look, the fact that he can give guys rest, the fact that you can say, Josh Hart, you don't have to play 48 minutes tonight, the fact that you can leave Hartenstein and Precious out there and do all these things, it is so critical. And the fact that he just adds even more spacing for Jalen Brunson and somebody to go to that you have to now honor. Now you're not going to get all those double teams, especially with a guy like Alec Burks, who, let's not forget, all right, when he was on the Knicks and when they went to the playoffs with Julius Randle on Tom Thibodeau's first season, he was in over the 90th percentile when it came to isolation scoring. So the fact that he's playing like that guy again is so important right now for this team. And man, couldn't happen at a better time.
I mean, look, since 2020, and this is why it was so baffling. And part of it why it was so exciting, like, wait, we got him and Bogdanovich, is 2019, 2020 with the Sixers. Almost 42% from 3. 2020, 2021 with the Knicks, 41.5% from 3. Next year, 40% from 3. Next year with the Pistons, 41% from 3. Next year with the Pistons, 40% from 3. I mean, talk about the last, like, what? How many years is that? All 41 to 40% from 3. And then he comes to the Knicks, he shoots 30% during his regular season stint with us. But now, look at tonight, 5 of 8. We're getting the Detroit Pistons, last 5 years, 40% from 3 level Alec Burks. And that is dynamic. That is well needed. The timing of it in the series with the injuries is unbelievable. And, looking forward into a closeout game and even further than that, right? You start to get a little bit excited about, okay, that depth that we were talking about, you get OG back. Maybe it's getting back now, and maybe this team has enough to make a legendary run.
Good run so far, man. Definitely good run. Al, where are you at? We're gonna get our special guest back in here. Stephon Marbury is on the way. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Starbury's on the way. He was in the mix. The Players Lounge was turned up. It was Starbury. You had Starks in there. Herb Williams came back. Salute to school. Shout out to Larry Johnson was in there. Carmelo Anthony was in the building tonight. So Patrick Ewing was in the mix tonight. Sir. So the Players Lounge was definitely popping tonight. Good to see all the OGs there supporting the team. Al, where do we leave off on the Super Chats?
I have not even touched the super chats
Okay.
yet, so you got to start from the get go. But CP, since you've been on this Burks, escapade, there is a caller who's waiting in the wings for you.
Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
Oh, there's a certain guy from Baltimore that's hanging out in the lounge right now.
Is he in the lounge? Wait. Where's he? Okay. Oh, let's get him in here. We got to get him first. We see a lot of callers in here, and we're gonna get them in here. Ron from Baltimore, go ahead and unmute your mic. Ron from Baltimore, let's go.
CP, check your WhatsApp.
CP, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Let's go rapid fire. Let's go.
Alec Burks, Mama said there would be days like this. You always believed with me. We always hung in there together. He can make big time buckets. Yes, he stunk in the regular season, but we saw it in big games. When you really need him, he can make the big time buckets. I'm so happy for MJ Burks because he deserves it. He's a great teammate, and it's nice that we got Brunson's health back. He looks like he's moving. The screens with McBride, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. You want to pick our boys up full court? We'll do the same to you. Shout out to Hartenstein for having more offensive rebounds, twice as many as the Indiana Pacers. MJ Burks, keep space in the floor and McBride, keep space in the floor. But MJ Burks, I am so proud of you for because we always believed in you. It was just me, you, and you, CP. It was just you, us two. We were on an island. We always believed. Everybody hated on us and threw tomatoes. Who's laughing now?
Can you hear me now?
Who's laughing now, man?
Can you hear me?
Can
you hear me
now we need the guy. Now he's giving guys much needed minutes. He's playing two ways out there.
Can you hear me?
Knocking down threes.
Can you hear me now?
Burks Hive, we are back,
baby.
New
York Knicks.
We are back. Just in the nick of time, man.
You
know what I'm saying? But right now, we are welcoming in our special guest. Well, not really a special guest because, as you see with the brim, he is KFTV's own Starbury is in the mix. Stephon Mar. Okay. Oh, no. We got to get Steph on the Discord. Hang on. We got to connect him through the Discord. Hang on. We totally forgot that. Hang on. You know what?
Unless we all switch back.
Yeah. I think we can all switch back.
And then you stay.
Yeah. Let's do this. So Alex and JD jump in on Zoom, right?
All right.
Hang on. Let's try this. Alex and JD jump in back in on Zoom.
But then how he's gonna hear you?
I think if we all do Zoom, we should be all right.
I'm in the building.
If I'm the only one on the Discord. All right, let's check this out. Hang on. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for people. TPJD, Alex, Stephon Marbury in the building, just trying to get some audio adjustments here. So Alex and JD, mute your Discord. And let's jump in on Zoom real quick. Let's see how this works. Hang on.
I'm here. I'm on Zoom now.
Yep, same.
Okay, so the echo is here. Let's see. Okay, there is an echo now. Okay, hang on.
And then that's what I'm saying. Like, Zoom, we're not going to hear you once you mute yourself.
Okay, hang on. No. Daniel is.
I gotta get Discord.
If you get the Discord, that would be obviously that would be.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna make it complicated like this again.
Nah, you good.
No, it's not. If it's a problem, it's not good. You gotta make a solution. And then after we fix it, then it'll be gonna be good. Once we get it popping to talk about this game,
man, don't worry about that. We got you, man. We gonna talk about this game.
We're gonna talk about this game. We're gonna break this down.
Oh man,
I love this game.
This game was fun. How are you doing, Steph?
I'm blessed. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm happy to be watching the Knicks on the winning side, man. Up 3-2. That's how I'm feeling.
Hang on. Okay. Is the echo gone? Technical difficulty. Daniel, unmute your Discord. Okay. I think we should be okay. Is the echo gone? Like testing 1, 2, 3. Is the echo gone? Are we back? Are we up and running?
Should be.
Sounds good.
People in the chat says no
Hey.
echo.
Sounds good.
CP, you just got changed to your mic because we hear room audio, so I don't think your
Yes.
mic's connected.
Okay, now I am.
There we go.
Yeah,
now it
there you
sounds better. Now it
Oh,
sounds better.
We back. All right.
Now we
Captain is
ready.
in the
Now we
building.
ready.
Captain CP. Captain
Live and
CP.
direct, man.
I hear you
Oh,
live
shit,
and
man.
direct. Fucking fresh
Let's
to the
go.
flesh. You know what
Starbury,
it is.
Give
What?
us the rundown, man. Give us the rundown. You were in the mix. Give us the breakdown.
Well, first, as I said at the beginning earlier today, I said if we come out and we play with energy, I don't care if we miss threes. I don't care if we miss easy layups. But if you playing with energy, that means you playing as hard as you can. When I seen Donte pick up and go, when I seen him do that full court, I was like, oh, it's on. I saw the monster come out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he read the internet just like everybody else read the internet. So I'm sure he heard the noise and he came back and he played the way how he was supposed to play. That's first. Second, I think Donte, he set the tone, of course, aka the hefty lefty clutch, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Squeaky Eeky, because he be out there squeaking on him, going in and out on him with the rock, making people dance in their own. He make people dance in their own stance. Like he really be having people stuck. He just led us and did what he did what a superstar is supposed to do. His body is feeling better. I can tell after game 3. I mean, after the last game, what was that? Yeah, game 4.
Game 4.
When he was in the third quarter, he was running back, and I can tell that he was cutting differently. So going into like the third and the fourth quarter, I can feel that he had his rhythm and his bounce back. Because when you hurt your ankle as a professional athlete, it's sore. The next day it's sore because it's not like you hurt it and then you go back in the locker room. When you hurt your ankle, you go back, you go sit down, and then you go back into the game and you start running on it again. So now you create more trauma. It's already traumatized. Now you're going out there just, you terrorizing it. But he fought through it. And that's the part of having his dad to be able to communicate with him and talk with him from when he was younger about managing pain while playing. So he did what he was supposed to do. Boom. Let me go to Big Hartenstein. Oh my God. When I talk about all over the place, I'm talking about all over the place. I'm talking about the type of all over the place back in the days when you had to get the fly swatter out. You know what I'm saying? Remember you had to go get the fly swatter out? like that type of all over the place. Like, I'm going to get you, right? He was chasing and tracking everything down. All of the 50-50 balls, he got them. He got them. He got them. When I'm talking about got them, let me go into number 18. Okay, let me go into number 18, hitting them threes in the corner, talking about I want some money. Let me talk about Mr. Burt, okay? Mr. Burt, let me tell you what you
Talk
just
up
now
now,
did,
big
young fella. Let me tell you what you did, big fella. And let me throw some gas at you while you at it. So when you hit it, you know. If you don't know, New York, talk that talk. In game, what you call it, 5? Let me show you what I did, baby. Let's talk about it and be about it. I was ready. I didn't have to get ready. I was already ready. I've been sitting here itching, waiting. But it's okay. I trust Thibs. And because he trusts Thibs, Thibs trusts him. So when he on that basketball court, he in a corner, when he pull that trigger, boom! Right? When you hear that, you feel them goosebumps when that joint go down. You know what I'm saying? When they hit that bottom of that net and you know he just came off the bench and we need him, he came off the bench when we need him. Not when we
need him.
Look, not when we wanted him. He came when we needed him.
Yeah.
You feel me? He came ready to play, ready to put that thing inside the hole, not play defense, not guard the best player. He came in there to put that thing inside the hole, and he did it in the garden when it counted. I got nothing but big respect for him. He go down in history as one of my favorites in New York history all time because I wanted to win this game more than anybody. But
Huge
of course,
game.
they wanted to win it more than anybody too. You feel the same way how I feel. Like, man, I wanted to win this game so bad after they beat our ass, but we beat their ass the same way. So the score is even again.
Yes, sir. What did
It's 30-30.
What did you make of, Thibs went with McBride to start tonight instead of Precious. McBride getting the Halliburton assignment. What did you think of that, man? I thought that was a big impact there on both ends of the court.
I'm gonna let the young star JD take this. Go ahead, baby, handle it. Talk to him.
Well, I had said that the ability, basically, and you know this stuff, in your playing career, sometimes when you get into a situation where you're game planning against a team, sometimes you have to pick your poison, right? And this one was either we're going to defend Siakam or we're going to defend Halliburton. And if we're going to go with Siakam, if we believe that's more important, we're going to start Precious and start that matchup. But because Halliburton has been able to gain his confidence in Indiana, you don't know if he's going to come now on the road and transfer that in a pivotal game 5. So to Thibodeau, it was much more important to put ball pressure in that defense on Halliburton on the defensive end, and we'll live with the Josh Hart matchup. And then not only, as I mentioned earlier, not only did McBride come through defensively and completely took Halliburton out the game, but he also came through offensively, hitting perimeter shots that gave Brunson some spacing. And again, with his defense, Marbury, you see how, you see the impact where you're able to take a guy away like that. And then now everybody else on Indiana has to figure out how they're going to get points. So big adjustment
100%.
by Thibodeau. Big adjustment.
Big time. Big time. Big time.
Yes, sir. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Oh, we got a $100 super chat from the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, man. Salute to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. Everybody throw a hashtag PE in the chat. He says,
you already know public enemy number 1.
Absolutely. And the comment says, it's why you don't play with your food. Number 2 seed matters. Eastern Conference Finals is now the goal. Knicks need to stay angry versus Skindiana. Burn the farm. This is why number 2 seed matters. Knicks Station, stay livid. I repeat, stay livid. Stan Van Gundy, go to the nearest deli, get a sandwich, and go to sleep. Salute to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D, man. Oh, man. Eric L. Beach, $20 super chat. Our resident DJ at Slate says, great bounce back W tonight. Game 6 at Slate is going to be a zoo on Friday night, regardless of the time. Yes, sir. Make sure y'all pull up, man. Make sure y'all pull up. Shout out to everybody that pulled up at Slate tonight. Slate was a great time. Game 6 on Friday is going to be even crazier. Absolutely. Make no mistake.
CP, they have all these time scenarios. Do we have a time for game 6 now?
Yeah, it's another time. Well, it's either going to be 6:30 or it's going to be 8:30. That all depends. If the Cavaliers win tomorrow or whenever that game is, the game is at 6:30 on Friday. If the Celtics wash them and get them out of there, it's going to be at 8:30.
Okay.
So
what kind of car wash you want?
We don't even know what time, man. We don't even know what time, man. So make sure you stay tuned for that, man. Shout out to CM, aka Creative. Fanchise channel member, $50 super chat says great bounce back game. Now we got to go to Indy and show them the door. Got to go to Indy and close them out, man.
Look,
guys,
I just look at the closeout game and I say, if they watch the closeout game, which they should go back and watch the closeout game versus the Sixers, they should know there's a pit bull, Rockwaller, everything mixed that's nasty, mixed together, getting ready to come. The confidence that just now got powered into these young men is incredible. Jalen Brunson was out there ice skating on them. He was out there. He was out there playing hockey while they was playing basketball. For real, on ice, with skates, I'm stopping, skirting. I mean, he broke the kid down and then waited for him and was literally saying sorry to him because that's his personality. I didn't mean for that to be like that on SportsCenter, but I had to do that. And your man touched it. He messed it up, but he's gonna make it even prettier because they're gonna watch this a lot of times on Sports Center because they want to see if he texted when it went up on the glass or if it went up straight. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na. That's breaking news right there.
And Marbury, remember, CP talked about it earlier. Remember that video I sent you about what Brunson said after the last game?
Whoa. Yeah, that was fire.
He let them know, and then look at the performance tonight. So
That you can't say that and do that because he know that went up.
yep.
That went up to the feed. That went up to the feed for people to go look and eat and talk about that. Basically. But it was unbelievable. Thibs, his adjustments. Like, look, when you believe in something, there's nothing no one can do about it. And it's positive. So if it's positive, it's love. And if it's love, it's righteous. It's righteous. It's nothing that you can do about it. It's over with. It's game change. Like, they going for it. Period. They got it already in their mind locked down. Like, we going to go as far as we said that we going to go. And that's it. Period. It ain't nothing else.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your boy, CP, JD, Alex, Stephon Marbury in the building. The #1 show for the fans by the fans is on and popping. KFTV, post-game live. Let's go, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I want to take calls from the Discord, so let's try this. If everybody on Zoom, Steph, JD, Alex, mute your microphones on Zoom. We're gonna go to the Discord, and let's go to J Cal on the Discord. J Cal, go ahead and unmute your mic. J Cal,
what's good? 5 you hear me?
What's good? I think we should be good. Daniel, just give me a thumbs up. Hang on. Daniel, you got to mute. Okay. All right, J Cal, go ahead.
All right, I'm unmuted. You got me 5 by 5?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, listen. They needed to let the sleeping dogs lie, but they rocked the boat. They kicked the hornet's nest, and he told them it's a long series. And then what did Brunson do? He dropped another 40 piece. 11 games he's played this postseason, and he's leading all scorers in the playoffs. And he is the dog. He is the tip of the spear, and they had no answer for him tonight. Last game was a fluke. We knew that they would have one game. We knew they'd hit some threes, but regression to the mean. It always happens. And tonight, we hit it. We scored well. We played well. And of course, Alec Burks, your guy. Take him out of the trunk, put him in the driver's seat.
Big money.
18.
Big money Burks, man.
And really, this game was about turnovers, right? I mean, the turnovers were ridiculous. The offensive rebounds. We just played so well. I'm so proud of this team. It ain't pretty. It's gritty. But tonight was actually kind of pretty, too, if I'm being honest. Tonight was pretty. So it's pretty and it's gritty. Shout out to Stephon Marbury, the legend. And I couldn't be happier. Man, that Mother's Day Massacre was tough. That was a tough
Mother's Day Massacre was tough, man. That was tough.
It's been a tough 48 hours. Let's be honest, Knicks fam. This was a tough 48 hours. We all been it's been heavy. And then to just see our general come out there and just take over the game. I mean, how many times this guy got to put up 40 points before people realize what we are witnessing is history? This is unbelievable what he's doing. Draymond Green might think it's a fluke. We know this is the future. Period. Full stop. JD, I need 16 burgers and 4 buns.
Fire up the grill.
Fire up the grill.
Fire up
How many burgers we got right now? 4 + 3 is 7 burgers. How many burgers we got left, JD?
Yeah.
How many burgers we got left?
Indeed.
9 burgers left. Let's family show go.
Family show,
Let's
man.
family show go. Rapid fire.
Let's go.
Family show go.
All right, J Cal, stay up, man. All right, that was J Cal.
I'm so up right now. I can't tell you.
Let's go. All right, that was J Cal on the Discord. Okay, my guys on Zoom, go ahead and unmute your microphones. Let's get back to it.
Yeah,
And
Laurie definitely heard none of that.
Steph got no. Oh, you guys can hear that.
Nothing. I can hear nothing.
I heard it because I
Yeah,
just
Discord
transferred to
though.
Zoom. I just
Oh,
transferred to Discord and muted myself.
Okay. All right. Well, we're only doing this arrangement tonight until we get Steph acclimated with the Discord. So,
Yeah.
just because Daniel's producing, we just got to roll with it. We just got to roll with it. It is what it is. You know, Jay Cow was just
no
going in,
doubt.
bigging up the team. He was just going in, bigging up the team, and he said, "JD, light up the grill." He said, "JD,
No
light
doubt.
up." Yes, sir.
And put some he barbecued.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
And J
Yeah,
Cal
he
just
barbecued.
gifted 20 franchise channel memberships. So salute to J Cal for his support, man. 20 new franchise channel members. We are on the way to 80,000 subscribers here on KFTV, man. We are on the way to 80,000 subscribers. So let's keep it going. Like, share, and subscribe. Steph, how was the Players Lounge looking tonight, man? I saw the big fella was in the building tonight. Carmelo was in there. You and Starks. They said you and Starks had him going like you was on the court. What was going on in the Players Lounge tonight?
Look, it's all energy. It's all positive energy, and it's coming from a variety of different spaces of the court. Like, because guys are spread out, and Jalen came up to everybody and gave everybody, dapped everybody up, got a hug. He touched some more energy. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't touched me yet. I never touched him before. You know what I'm saying? Where we shook hands. I never gave him a pound, nothing. I never seen him around his dad. So when we hugged, the energy was crazy. It was real. You know what I'm saying? It was brothers, and that's basically what he received from everybody because he paid homage to everybody coming and showing love, clapping, cheering for them. Really in it in the game with him, with Donte, with all of the players on their team, and they can feel that.
There you go, man. And on his way to another 40 piece, his fifth of the postseason, one short of the great Bernard King, who had 6. He's on his way, man. He's on his way. And yeah, look, that's just the key for this Knicks team that's undermanned. It goes through number 11, and tonight he was on the money, man. I mean, how many paces had to hit the floor in the midst of number 11's rat, man? He was shaking and baking out there. So
that was the most positive thing that came out of tonight. Is you got your best player to play like that in such a big game. And as I mentioned earlier, game 5s, game 7s, when you're down 2-1, like those moments are legacy games, or at least that's the way people like to write the story of a superstar player. And this was a legacy game at the Garden. He understood the moment, and his 5th game this postseason. I just want to take the moment to just share with everyone what type of company this is. Tonight's was Brunson's 5th game with 40 or more points. And this is the list. You got LeBron James with 8, Jerry West with 8. MJ did it 3 times. Bernard King, Allen Iverson, Elgin Baylor, Rick Barry, Kareem, Hakeem, Shaq did it 5 times, and Brunson has done it 5 times. That's it. Like, that's the list. And you talk about
category.
I mean, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
The category, baby. There's not that many in there.
Not at all. Steph, I got a question for you though. For a player to come back from an injury like Brunson, like we know he's dealing with like foot problems. As a player, what do you do to get back into rhythm while you're dealing with injury?
You start. I mean, this is what I would do. Okay, when I get hurt and I get injured, first you got the people, the staff that's gonna help you. But you know how some people, when they get hurt, they start limping and they favor it.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is, instead of me walking the pace and the speed that I would normally walk at, I walk at a slower pace, but I walk the same way. So if it was my ankle or if it was my knee, so I'll know in my mind I know how to measure. So when I feel like it's hurting so much to the point where I want to stop or I want to sit down, that's when I'll slow down even more and I'll just like drag my foot. like how somebody was hurt. But in my mind, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So while you have that process, that's the mental part just for your body. The mental part of dealing with that and being able to go on the basketball court and play at a high level, right? At the same speed, the same pace, making the same cuts, you know how it's going to feel. So once you deal with how it's going to feel, you embrace that feeling, and then that feeling, it just basically it goes away. And it's still there, it doesn't go anywhere, but it just goes away. That's how I did it. Because I'm a guard, right? In the NBA, you small. So you get hit a lot. Big guys jump. They don't realize that when they jump and then they swing their arms down, that we're right there. Because you got to think, right? When they come down, they want to go up as fast as they can to try to jump. So that means that they're swinging with all of their power to go up, to jump. And you get hit in that sometimes. You just don't see it because it's so fast. But your body don't feel it until after the game. But that's why you got to be strong. You got to be crazy strong. It's important for a guard. And Jalen's a strong guard. You know who else is super strong? Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
He's probably one of or the strongest guard in the NBA right now as we speak.
He's very deceptive when it comes to like guarding guys who are like even at the
Anybody.
power forward position. Like
Yeah.
you think you get
I
a
like him
mismatch,
for
is
our
not
team.
him.
Yeah, playing well for the C's right now too in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like him. I like it because he can play the 1, 2, or 3.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's
Abs-
it. He don't go to 4. He go 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's hard. That's
absolutely.
different. That's like Scottie Pippen.
Yes,
Scottie
sir.
played the 4 too, but
Yeah, man. So salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CPJD, Alex, Steph, Marbury in the building, man. 121-91. Knicks beat the Pacers, man. Order is restored, and they take a 3-2 series lead. We want to take a quick timeout and pay some bills real quick, and we want to shout out one of our sponsors of the night, and that is Manscaped, fellas. You know the deal, man. Manscaped keeps us protected.
I use Manscaped.
Keeps it. Oh, Steph is a Manscaped user. You know what I'm saying? So for you people at home, man, you guys know the deal. Manscaped keeps us going, man. A number of great tools for today's man. Whether you're talking about the beard trimmer, the handyman, the close shaver, and then you got, for the crown jewels, you got the lawnmower 5.0 and things of that nature, man. So for you guys at home, use our code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. You also have your body wash, conditioner, shampoo, your ball deodorant, your foot deodorant. Fellas, listen, man, in this day and age, it's no time to be caught lacking, especially when you got a number of products to keep you going, man. You're going into the summertime, you're getting out on these dates, go to Manscaped and get the Performance Package 5.0 and set the tone. Set the tone. Just make sure that you don't send us any feedback. No testimonials. Just go out and get it. Just go out and get it, man. Manscaped.com, promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. No testimony.
Gamba, you gotta, make the sign bigger where it says no testimonials. I mean, it's like the fine print.
No, is that a new one, CP? Make sure you don't give us no feedback.
Yeah, no feedback. No feedback, man. No testimonials on that. Just go out and get it. They ship everywhere worldwide. So there it is, man. There it is. Okay. Let me read the super chat. The Rhyme Animal Chuck D, $10 super chat says, question for Steph. Did the day off in Indianapolis after the tough game 3 bring the energy down for game 4? No more off days in Naptown. We going straight from New York into Indiana against a desperate team again. What you think, Steph? And that in between time 3 and 4, we were watching that game 3. They lost just by a hair, and then game 4, they got the doors blown off. Did the game 3 loss bring the energy down for 4? What do you think?
This team I don't really look at them as a team as them losing energy. They just got their ass beat the last game where they got beat. That's it. They just lost. Sometimes that happens because it's proof tonight that sometimes that happens because that was a game that we wanted to come back home and close out. But it's a series, right? So when you hear Jalen says that, he says that because he understands that because he's again, I refer back to his dad. He's been taught that. You know what I'm saying? So when he knows, as JD said, when he knows that there's going to be a game at the Garden in game 5, and it's a pivotal game, like it's a pivotal moment in history in basketball, and you go and you do that. That's making it for guys like then Paul Pierce have to wear his he just said the other night that we were gonna get crushed.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said we're done. So he gotta eat it again. Right? Right? What jersey we wanna get him? We wanna give him another one. Give him Josh.
You already got the Brunson one too.
Yeah, he got the Brunson one already. You wore that on TV. I want to know if it was for. I want to know if it was for height or if it was for stripes. Which one was it for? Like what was it for? Like, because it's looking like you could have put Donte jersey on. Why you put that jersey on? You didn't say you was going to put Donte.
Yeah.
You didn't say you was going to put Jalen Brunson jersey on. I don't know. Maybe I'll be wrong. Because I didn't see it or hear it. I'm just going by what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. But anyway, tonight was that night. So now, it's just basically gonna, after all of everything happens, then it's gonna come down to, but you gotta win the championship. That's like the medicine and the poison.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got me.
All right, so fellas, let's we got to work with the audio here. Fellas on the Zoom, go ahead and mute your audio. Go ahead and mute your mics once again. And we're gonna go to the Discord caller. And let's go to Hard Jeezy on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi everybody, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to CP, Alex, JD, JD. Oh,
yep, go ahead.
Okay, and Stefan Marbury, man, starstruck right now talking here. Just you being on the show. As just quickly as a fan, thank you for everything that you've done. Seeing you at the games, being hyped up, it makes the Knicks fan so happy and excited. But we're definitely thankful for what everything that you've done for us Knicks fans. But man, today's game was the true grit and grime. That represented the true heart of New York. After the Mother's Day massacre, that was a tough pill to swallow. But if anything, what represents us as New York is that we fight through adversity, right? That's been the season. We've been through this, all this national media talking about the Knicks are done, they're this and that. I want to give a quick shout out to Monica and Big Perk for that too, because they've obviously been following the team, and they've been following KnicksFanTV, right? So they know where to get the information. But we've seen this team, right? They've gone through this before, where we're a couple of mans down, but it's the next man up. So definitely, Big Bunny Burks did his thing. But most importantly, I want to say I think Mrs. Sandra Brunson, Jalen Brunson's mom, was in the crowd today. So I think that definitely probably helped. And then he was wearing his sort of Undertaker outfit. He was dressed in all black. And I want to say he dressed like that maybe before Game 6 in the last series. So, when he did that, I had a good feeling. But, I wanted to kind of have be cautiously optimistic. So, but yeah, I think it's one game at a time. Let's see, how this goes. But I'm happy. I'm excited. And, I was one of 3,800 CP that didn't believe in Burks. But, man, he brought it in at the right time.
Yeah.
So, yep. So,
like they are in the garden when you at the KFTV watch party. It's like in that dark. So when the telecast showed Mama Brunson, shout out Santa, the whole place erupted with a That's just what it was, man. Everybody was rocking with Mama Brunson in Slate, and that's just how it is, man. That's just how.
Oh, tell me what's up. I ain't hear. I can't hear.
Hang on. We're getting no sound. Hang on. No sound. Hang on. We should be back up on the Zoom. Are we back up on the Zoom? Should be good now. We good now. Okay. Now what I was saying was that at the watch party, you know, the way the fans interact at the watch party is like they are at Madison Square Garden, from the defense chants to the booing of the referee, so on and so forth. It's just like you inside the garden. And I was saying on the telecast, when they showed Mama Brunson all asleep, everybody was erupting in applause. Everybody was giving her a standing ovation. So Mama Brunson, she's a big fan of the show. So she's watching. Yeah, everybody was repping for Sandra.
No doubt.
And when they showed it on the telecast, so that was a good job.
Doubt.
They asleep, man.
No doubt.
Watch parties are like a zoo, man. It is fun though.
Yeah, listen, man. Friday's gonna be another one, man. It's gonna be another one of them nights.
You in there on Friday?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course.
Slate Friday?
Yeah, Slate Friday night, man. We in there, bro.
Bet.
Yeah, we in there, man. For sure. Closeout game. Yeah, closeout game. Yeah, so the caller was talking about, you know, he was hailing up Big Perk and Monica McNutt and all of that. But on the TNT telecast, man, you know, this guy Draymond Green keeps talking very spicy about the Knicks.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, Daniel, if you have the sound bite, go ahead and play it. Daniel, let us know if you're able to play the sound bite on the show, man. Let us know, man. This guy Draymond Green's talking spicy about the Knicks, man. So let me know if you have the sound bite.
So you quote tweet him.
Spicy or sweet?
Hold on. Daniel, do you have the sound? Okay, he's got it. Okay, he's loading it up. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up on Free Boys. You're loading up. CPJD, Alex Starbury.
Why does Knicks fans think I hate the Knicks, though?
Why do they? Because you did say you didn't like New York.
No, that's a lie.
But I thought you said.
I told the truth about the team. And the truth about the team was it's a fluke.
That's why they don't like you. That's why.
But I didn't say
that
nothing about
their
the
good season that they've had in the last whatever, you said is a fluke.
This year is what you said.
He said this year's team is a fluke.
Okay, so here's what I said.
A fluke.
I said this team, they're winning right now. And it could be, I think it's a setup like the Atlanta Hawks in 2021.
Right.
And if you remember back to maybe 2016-17, the Portland Trailblazers paid all of those guys because they had that one good year, and then they got jammed up. And I think this New York Knicks team could be a setup to get jammed up. And now everybody mad at me like I hate the Knicks.
You know why?
This guy.
Okay, hold up.
Man.
I just want to understand something.
Yeah.
When did it become important to even think about what he thinks about? When did that become important? I don't know. I've been going for a while. What happened?
He's becoming part of the national media. LOL Knicks, you know, is popular to crap on the Knicks. You know, they just want to find that little alleyway to tweak Knicks fans, even when their takes are terrible. That's another worst take candidate. It's another worst take, not first take. It's worst take. It's another worst take candidate from Draymond Green, man. It's another worst take candidate from Draymond Green, man. You know, but that's what he likes to do, JD.
And business is booming. It seems like on the national stage because I'm watching the other day, First Take, which is a 2-hour show. literally about an hour of content was on Knicks topics. I couldn't believe it. You know, and I'm like, wait, whoa, the Knicks? Yeah, I used to talk about LeBron and the Lakers all day, every day. The Dallas Cowboys all day, every day. And now with this Knicks run, everybody's talking about the Knicks on the national stage. It's like Knicks. And everyone now wants to have their takes. So Draymond Green is going on his podcast, as you know, CP, and he's getting his Knicks clicks. And that's become popular. So you know how it is. When there's momentum, there's a controversial topic, there's momentum, they keep going with it. And he keeps going, you know, the national stage keeps going with these.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Uh-oh.
We're going to set the record straight, man.
Oh, here we go.
We're going to set the record straight, man. Draymond Green, KFTV. We're going to set them straight at Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's time, man. Enough is enough. He's taking shots at Knicks Nation. He's taking shots at Brunson and the squad. We gonna set him straight, man. So Knicks Nation.
Brunson, what can he say about Brunson?
Thursday at 3 p.m. It is on. Enough is enough, man. I gotta dip into my Max Kellerman bag. You know, I put Max Kellerman into retirement. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Money Green, it's your time, man. It's your time. We're going to put him up on the Summer Jam screen. It's over with, man. Thursday, 3 o'clock. Draymond Green. It's over with, bro. We had enough of the theatrics. It's not going down like that. He could get away with that with the peanut gallery with Kenny and Charles and them. You know what I'm saying? You can't run that play over here. You can't run that play over here on KFTV. You can't do that. You got to come with facts over here.
Facts.
You got to come with facts.
They don't want to see us. They don't want to see us. They don't want to see us with that weak Atlanta Hawks argument, Portland Trailblazers. He's talking about paying people. I mean, evidently he hasn't seen these Knicks contracts. He doesn't like who are all the free agents that we're worried about losing? We're not worried about losing anyone but Isaiah Hartenstein, and I don't think he's going anywhere. And all these contracts are great value, but it doesn't seem like Draymond Green. And I won't say much because I want to look at the show and be like, oh, let me take note of what JD said so I can correct my stance. So when I debate CP, I'll leave it there, CP. I know you're gonna cook him. So Thursday, 3 p.m.
Done. It's over with. It's over with.
It's just funny, man. How I even wonder how much research he does into the whole Hawks thing, because it's funny that Trey was drafted in 2017, didn't make the playoffs the 2017-18 season, the 18-19 season, the 19-20 season that was cut short. But the one time the Hawks make it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, it was that, you know, the after effect of that bubble season that they had, the COVID year, right? And that's the first time they made the playoffs and they go all the way, and they haven't been able to replicate that since. Where you didn't even get to see steady growth from the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah,
it's the complete opposite for the New York Knicks. We saw that with Randall. We saw that last season. They made it to the second round. Now we're in the second round again this year. I don't know how you can call that a fluke. He must not be watching, man. He must be too busy punching people in the face.
Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP, JD, Alex, Steph Ball, Marbury in the building. Number one show for the fans by the fans of popping. We got 3,000 people on the check-in. It's 1:22 in the morning here on the East Coast. It's 1:22 in the morning, Steph. We got 3,000 people in here. For you people in the chat, man, throw your cities, throw your countries in the chat. And we want to see where everybody's tapping in from, man. We'll shout you guys out, man. Steph, what were you saying? Go ahead, bro.
No, I said throw it up. NYC, baby.
Let's go.
I just find it amazing that everybody's talking about the Knicks because the Knicks are winning. Why you on, like, when we losing, you
quiet.
I don't know why you can't say, man, those guys, they lost this player, they lost OB. Oh, they lost him the other day. And then they came back 2 games later, made adjustments, and won. How do you do that? Oh,
right.
Man, you should have seen this dude Burks come off the bench
Nobody
He was
talking about Big
blazing
Money
the
Burks
net.
on the telecast
He
tonight,
was
huh?
blazing. I'm talking about him.
Yeah.
He was blazing the nets. I talk about
Torching
what
them.
I see.
Torching
Period.
them.
Talk to him. Like, come
Torching them.
on. He was giving them what they was looking for. The
We
business.
want to talk about trends. We was in Slate, me and you, Steph. Game 3, my man Big Money Burks was torching the Nets. Game
End
3,
of the game
Game
right
4,
away.
Game 5. What more do
Right
you
away.
Are you not entertained?
Barbara, you remember every time Burks scored in Slate, this guy CP, the #1 fan, just got up, was
Man,
cheering.
every time, for sure.
#1 fan, hype,
Early.
gassing him up.
Look, I haven't watched the team all year long, but I would assume, and I'm gonna take a guess, that Burke defense is not that good for Thibs.
Well, it was really on the offensive side. He came in, it just wasn't with it. This
He's
wasn't
not.
with the program.
He's not a
He
strong
wasn't with
defender.
it for offense
He's
and
not a
defense.
strong
It's been much
defender.
better.
Nah,
As of
what did
late.
you think about his defense tonight, though, Steph? I thought his defense was good tonight.
When you score it, boy, you get real. You get real aggressive. When you score, you in the playoffs. If you get buckets, oh, you gonna see me. I'm not going back over there. I'm not going back over there.
Marbury about to go right through the screen.
Oh, I'm not going back over there.
I ain't going back. He gonna do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, man.
He was fronting. He was pushing. He was
everything. Mention everything. My man was activated in the defensive end. He said, I ain't going back in the truck.
Energy, baby.
Yeah.
Well, you know, CP, that was it. Isn't his contract up this year? It's like, oh, where could you end up back? It's like, oh no, not Detroit, not Detroit. Yeah, no.
You're playing for money. Low key though, you know another valuable contribution that he added to this dynamic with TJ McConnell is him being a 6'5" guard. There was many times when he was on the floor and because of his height, they switched a lot when McConnell was on the floor. And when Burks was defending him, it's a taller guy, a little stronger guy. It's not McBride, it's not, DiVincenzo. McConnell now has had 2 of the last 3 games, has not been great. And having Burks being 6'5", coming off the bench, you can throw him at McConnell. That's more size than McConnell, and it can affect him getting into those spots. And you saw tonight another tough night for TJ McConnell. And the Knicks are starting to figure him out little by little. The thing with him is he's so hated that he'll score like 6 points, and those 6 points seem like they're 12, just because he's like a pest out there on the floor. Yeah. But then when you look at the box score and then you look at his contribution, you're like, oh, we did a pretty good job on him tonight, all things considered. So Burks, on the defensive end, can give you at least that versus this Indiana team.
And we were making fun of TNT. Right now, the Rhyme Animal Chuck D is on TNT with Charles and Ernie on their Steam Room podcast. So salute to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, always representing us well wherever he's at, Ram. So right now, if you guys are watching TNT, he is on there with Ernie and Charles.
So what Dante said about Turner, about them guys.
What do you say? What do you say?
Daniel got the soundbite.
Daniel, do you have it? We need to give him some time. Daniel, let us know when you got it and you're ready. He says stand by. So to everybody in the chat, like, share, subscribe. We in here heavy, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, loading up the Dante soundbite. Go ahead.
Confidence. Listen to this stuff.
Particularly the one with Miles Turner. What was your vantage point?
They're trying to be tough guys. And that's not their identity. And there was nothing more to that. I just don't, I don't agree with trying to, walk up on somebody that nobody's gonna fight in the NBA. So take the foul, keep it moving. You're not a tough guy, just keep it moving.
Okay. That Dante's talking about it. You know what I mean? What do you think, Steph?
They're trying to be tough guys. That's not their identity.
First of all, Dante put his face out, and then Turner, he didn't start getting activated until everybody came over there to build the wall to push him. I mean, it's
Yeah.
typical. It was typical, but at the same time, it's like, come on, like it was a foul. You got hit. Let's go on. You losing. At least let it be about that. Like I was frustrated. Period. Like you should be. It's the playoffs. It is what it is. All of that. It was for what? It was for pitches. Everybody was posing.
It's not the same thing you did to Jimmer for Depp, Marbury.
Nah.
So salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. All right, let me read these super chats and then we can roll out, man. Big win tonight for the Orange and Blue, man. 121-91. Knicks get one up on the series, man. 3-2, beating the Pacers, and we head back to Indy for a big Game 6 on Friday. 2 games rest. I think that will bode well for the Knicks. And then we go out there, man, and look, we just got to weather the storm. Weather the storm early. We know they're going to come out ferocious. The Halliburton attack, the McConnell attack, they're going to be chucking up threes. I think, look, as long as we stick to our game plan, get on the boards and get Brunson going, I think we'll be fine, man. We'll be fine. As long as that happens, we'll be fine. Game 3 was fine. Game 4 wasn't. And you saw what happened in Game 4. Game 5, we got back to it. That's all it takes, man. I think that's what it takes, man. All right, let me read these super chats and then re-roll. Casey Julian, $10 super chat says Hartenstein with the masterclass rebound, and this team does not get enough respect for their skilled players. Dixon 6. Pro Cannon Gaming $5 super chat says CP, don't apologize for your Burks take. He was bumbling and fumbling till Thibs put him in the trunk. Looks like it did him some good too. Salute, man. Freeway Hustle 21. Salute. Daniel Cortez, welcome to the Fanchise channel members. We got Vidal, $5 super chat says, shout out KnicksFanTV. Knicks have a chance to clinch on my birthday this Friday. Let's go. Hit the like button. Salute to Vidal. Happy birthday in advance. Shout out to Fred McRae, $5 super chat says, Knicks popped the trunk and let Burks loose. Devo with the hustle and energy. Didn't shoot well, but played well. Pacers are trying to be hard, and they not. Okay. Shout out to Prod Mile, $2 super chat. Salute. Kenny Gales, $5 super chat says, teams can't wake up one day and just suddenly be tough when they haven't been all year. Good win with Donte shooting your takes. You, $5 super chat says, shout out to JD for the great play-by-play, Alex for the playoff game previews, and CP for making this channel a home for real Knicks fans. Shout out to you, man. Anytime, man. Atmosphere Audio, $10 super chat says, shout out to Birkenbag, Alec Burks. iHeart gonna get money for moving them down with the Uzi. Respect to the big ragu and Miles Turner. Stop fronting. You mad? Let's go Knicks. Knicks in 6. Let's go. Salute to Chef Guns. Join the Fanchise channel members. EC, $5 super chat. Salute. And he also puts a $10 super chat in there. Says the hefty lefty with another 40-plus game. Meanwhile, Halliburton sat on the bench thinking about what outfit to wear for Game 6. Let's smack them in the mouth on Friday. Let's get it. Let's go.
What goofy outfit is he wearing this time?
Let's go. Let's go.
Go gadget helicopter.
Brightest Future drops a $33 super chat. Shout out to Brightest Future. Says, family show the media. They lie on us. I'm making a shirt with King Kong wearing the Knicks jersey and Tracy Morgan's gold rope. Chilling on Celebrity Row. Let's go Knicks. Okay. Shout out to DJ Merv J. Rondell Hartley, $10 super chat says, Air Burks. Corso 117, $10 super chat says, Duke starting was a huge adjustment from Thibs. Having him guard Hallie with very little help keeps us from letting up open three-point looks. It also lets us pound the glass, which punishes pace of leakouts. Big. CT $5 super chat says, we need Oakley back in the guard and CP Starbury make it happen. I mean, Oak says he wants an apology. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. Well, we'll see. One day, man. Eric L. Beach, we got that. Bees Noriega, shout out to Bees Noriega. He came through to Slate on Friday for the watch party, Game 3 watch party. The salute to all Knicks Nation. Want to thank CP and Marbury for letting me shake their hand at the watch party. Very humble, and I was smacked. But the Knicks are warriors, man. We defeat anybody. So shout out Bees Noriega. Hey, he kept it a beat. He said he was smacked. You know what I mean? So, hey, all good. All good. Shout out to J Cal, who gifted 20 Fanchise channel memberships. Shout out to CM, aka Creative, for gifting 10 Fanchise channel memberships. Brother Rockman, salute $5 super chat. Said $5, the players only meeting, cleared the air and refocus our boys. Let's go. Okay. Shout out to Angelo, $10 super chat. Says we actually had a good season last year. This year we had a little better. I'm trying to figure out how we are a fluke. We're gonna address that with Draymond Green on Thursday. Cornell Marshall, $5 super chat says big money Burks. Salute to Starbury. Salute.
Big money love.
And salute to Bashir, $5 super chat says question for the panel. The team is loaded barring injuries, but who y'all want New York to pick up in the off season? All right, let's go round table, man. Rapid fire. JD, pick up in the off season is?
You got to know who's free.
Yeah, you got to know who's free. Let's get back to that in the off season, man. We're in the on season right now. It's my guy Jay Boogie would say.
Yeah, because we're just gonna be throwing out names that may
names
not be realistic.
Right. You got to know who becomes available, man. You got to know who becomes available. You know what I'm saying? But salute to everybody who tapped in, man. Salute to all of our Fanchise channel members, everybody who was joining us tonight. We will be back at Slate on Friday, so make sure you get your tickets. KFTVWatch.com is where you will want to go for your tickets, man. And remember that the show is available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. Catch us on all major podcast platforms. Remember to salute our sponsors, man. Salute to Cuts. Go to CutsClothing.com. Use our code KFTV for 20% off plus your first order. And we out of here, man. CPJD, Alex, Stephon Marbury. Great show, everybody. We will see you guys on Friday. Oh, Thursday, actually. Big Money Green.
Can we end it with with a Jordan clip?
Go ahead.
Let's end it with Daniel. Wow. Let's end it with a Jordan clip.
Let's go.
Shout out to Halliburton.
Let's go.
But the great Michael Jordan once said, for the front runners, for those that get hyped when they're up and the job's not finished, in the words of Kobe Bryant. Daniel, when you got the clip, if you can play it, so everyone knows what I'm talking about with Mr. Halliburton there.
Mike does not need any more.
Well, that's all right.
Do that.
Let's see if all that trash talking starts when it's 0-0
Audio play
instead of 5-6 point lead. That's where it starts. That's the sign of a good man. If you can talk shit when it's even score, or talk shit when you're behind score. When you're ahead, it's easy to talk.
Mike, go.
There you go. You get the vibe, CP?
Oh, we ready, man. We ready, man. We'll see y'all on Friday.
Got pretty
confident.
confident.
Catch us, man. Number one show for the fans by the fans. We out of here, man. CPJD, Alex, Starbury. Great show, fellas. We'll see you guys, man. Catch up. Number one show for the fans by the fans. Like, share, subscribe. We out of here, man. Peace.